And if you've been liking any of the content on here, just feel free to subscribe. Either way, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. And our mission today is Chilling Rain, Hammer and Anvil, and the Ritual. So it's mission 2 of the RTT that we're going to be going to. I don't think NecronMike's going, but his heart will be with us. This is our map today. We have some construction paper underneath our train just to show some actual footprints and just kind of play with those and see how it is, because usually we don't have footprints. So only 3 objectives. That's the ones that you get to make an objective exactly 9 inches away from another objective, but not on your deployment. So it's going to be interesting.
Hello and good day, NecronMike here playing Necrons, because I don't have any other armies built yet. So we are going back to try the Awakened Dynasty, just because with all the changes and what I have, I think it might actually still be viable. We are running a blob of 10 Lich Guard. We are running an Overlord with him, with the enhancement to give them stealth, so it's -1 to hit these idiots. That should be, hopefully make them a little bit more lively. We're going with the blob of 20 warriors. In there they have the Technomancer for the 5-up, and they have an Overlord as well, with some, just for the Res Orb and such. We are running a Plasmortal group. I decided to throw in the Crypto Thralls in there just to give them a little more survivability. The Shoot on Death seems like it could be cheeky. Doomstalker, you know, he hangs in the back and stalks Doom. We have a full group of Scorpex. They are going to be starting in reinforcements and hopefully do some damage later. We are running 2 groups of Scarabs. They are good for screening, and I'm also going to try to do some cheeky nonsense with shoving them behind walls against where there are objectives, just to try to get their OC into play. So I am running this guy. He's going to be a Singleton Heavy Destroyer. Just, I think having one of them floating around the back to screen seems solid. We have a Hexmark. He is running the Sovereign Coronal Aura, so he will be given the +1 to my heavy hitters in the back, and because he's lone operative, they can't just pick him off the board. We're running Reanimator. The 3-inch nerf is kind of bleh, but hopefully we can still pull it off. And we have our group of 3 Locust Heavies, because they just melt stuff. And we have our Doomsday Arc. Yeah, not quite as melty as the heavies, but hey, they get the job done. Alright, as a bit of a follow-up here, after I went through it, we checked on what the Crypto Thralls can do, and it is actually next to nothing useful. So yeah, we're changing that up, taking out the Crypto Thralls, and my Singleton Locust Heavy is now going to be a group of 2. We'll queue up, see how we do.
This is my Tau list. I have 3 of these stealth suits, and one of them has the fusion blaster, and they have a marker light and a shield drone. And then I have 10 breachers. They have a guardian drone and a gun drone. And then I have a Codger Fireblade with him, and he has no enhancements, but he has 2 gun drones. A Devilfish with the twin smart missile systems. I have a Ghost Keel. He is the Ion Raker and just the twin burst cannon. I have a Riptide, and he has the Ion Accelerator and a twin plasma gun. 6 crisis suits. I have them all with cyclic ion blasters, except 2 of them have the air fragmentation launcher. And I have a Cold Star Commander with the enhancement of the Kalyan. I think it's the exemplar of the Kalyan, gives him Kalyan a turn early. And he also has cyclic launchers as well. 10 Pathfinders. 3 of them have railguns, and they have gun drones, and I gave them the war gear so they can infiltrate if they want to. Another unit of breachers, it kitted out exactly the same as the first one, same as a Codger Fireblade. Commander Shadow Sun. Another Riptide, he has the big old burst cannon instead, and then he has a twin missile, twin plasma launcher as well. 2 Tetras, and then another group of stealth suits. Same thing, there's 1 fusion blaster, a shield drone, and a marker drone, just so they can take cover away if they spot anything. A Hammerhead with a railgun, and then I have Long Strike, so he is just the Hammerhead character. And this is the list. It is 2,000 points. Now let's take it from the shelf to the tabletop. So we're going to go on to our deployment roll and see who gets first deployment. All right, so for deployment roll, let's see here. I'm green, and you are kind of a bronzish color.
Necron Gold.
Necron Gold. Yep. 2. Oh, okay. I'll deploy first. I do have a few infiltrating units, so Tau deploy first. My devilfish is behind this wall, and behind all the ruins. We got the footprints, so he can't be shot turn 1. I have my Tetras and my Breachers in behind here. And my Riptide, once again, should be pretty hard to get some shots. I have Commander Shadowsun out in the open. She's lone operative, so it'll be pretty hard to get up there and shoot her. My Riptides and my Hammerheads are in this ruin here. Hanging. I have one inside the ruin and one outside, just kind of hanging here. This terrain up here also gives him full cover, so if I don't get turn 1. I infiltrated with my stealth suits up behind the wall here. Pathfinders, which I had the recon drone, so they had infiltrate, and I put them 9 inches away from his deployment just to try to block him from getting onto there. He could get turn 1 and possibly charge on here, but it still blocks him from kind of getting advanced and run up here with his scarabs or anything like that. I have these stealth suits, and they are inside this building. I always put them on top just so you guys can see where they are. And I have my Ghost Keel, and it is behind this wall as well. Infiltrated, so my hope is to use the ritual with him. So that is my deployment. I have the Breachers and a Conjure Fireblade in this Devilfish, and I have my Crisis suits with the Commander in Deep Strike. So that's my deployment, and so we're going to go over to the Necrons.
On the Necron side, here we have, this corner's pretty heavily loaded. We also have our Hexmark Destroyer there, so he's going to be giving all of our heavy hitters the +1 to hit, so that's good. We also have the Immortals here. They're currently hiding in there. I'm hoping they will be able to pop out for a counter shot. Just in here, we have our Balaba Warriors. They are going to be chilling there for now. Probably they'll be in charge of taking care of the guys in the middle, so we'll see how that goes. These guys, put them back here just so they have a line more up that direction, as well as screening out the back a bit. And in here, we have our group of Lich Guard with some Scarabs hanging on the outside to hopefully gum up some OC a little bit. And the Reanimator, he's chilling out to hopefully hang out between the two groups there, the Lich Guard and the Warriors. So let's see how that plays out. And deep striking, we have a group of Scorpex with Big Scorpec Daddy. So hopefully they'll be able to come in and do some damage when the time is right.
All right, so now we're going to do who gets the first turn. So I'm green, and he's Necron bronzish kind of color. A 2 and a 2. Ooh, Battle of Wills. Huh! 6. The Tau go first. Okay. Okay, so for my first turn draw, I have Secure No Man's Land and Assassination. We'll see about that, but Secure No Man's Land's not a bad one. There's nothing to do in the command phase. I just gain a CP, so on to the movement. For my movement phase, I didn't do too much. I mostly stay back here. I did move this my Riptide, so I moved Longstrike over here as well. Go through this line down here, see through the train, and get a blind bead at his heavy destroyers. I cannot get his Doomstalker, because it's behind the train there, fun footprint. And then I moved up these fellas just 6 more inches. Still stayed on this objective so I can get Secure No Man's Land and get some shots onto a few choice targets possibly, but more just to gum these warriors up. Stealth Suit stayed there. Stealth Suit stayed there. My Ghost Kill, he's going to create the objective here. So he's just going to sit here and do nothing. He has own operative, so he should be pretty safe to get this set up. And that is my movement phase. Everything else just stay where it's at. On to turn 1, shooting. Okay, so I'm going to put the Riptide into the heavy destroyers. I spotted them with the Tetra, so they're going to reroll his hits. So he's going to be hitting on 3s, and I also used the ability so he'll have the Devastating Wounds, the Nova Charge. So it's going to be hitting on 3s, re-rolling my hits, and I'm overcharging. So I will have to roll a hazardous test after this. I'm going to put everything in there. I don't know if the plasma can reach, we'll have to check it, but this is just the Ion Rakers. So hitting on 3s, raking, oh, 2 misses. Lucky this. If this was a Cao Yan stage, that'd be 6 extra hits. Disgusting. Oh, well, that was Well, either way, even though it turned that 6 into a 4, that's all hits. Toughness 6, so wounding on 3s. 6s are devastating wounds. But 1 6 and only 2 wounds. The other 2 misses.
All right, and only on 3. What's the AP on it?
AP 3.
AP 3, so 6s will save. These dice are hot
dice. So the devastating wounds will kill 1. But other than that, that's it. So that's not bad. Okay. And now the railgun. So it is being spotted by the Pathfinders. So the Pathfinders will... So I'm going to be hitting on 3s. Not re-rolling anything, though. Oh, a 1. But he is close to Shadow Sun. Shadow Sun allows me to re-roll 1s. Do another 1. So my railgun fails. So that is pretty much the end of my shooting. I'm going to do the pitter-patter from these guys off camera. Okay, so my rail rifles bounced off the heavy destroyers. I was only able to shoot 2 at them. And then one of them did kill the warriors. My carbines bounced off the rest of them. But since I only killed one of his warriors, he used the stratagem to shoot back at me. So he was able to get 8 of them to shoot at me. Only 3 of them went through. I failed 3 of the saves. So I put the 3 wounds on my Sergeant Chastaway or whatever his thing is. But so because he had the Guardian drones. It killed him. And then since I was out of unit coherency, it killed another 3 more. So now I'm still on my objective, but I'm down to only 6 models, even though I only lost 1. That's the way it should go. So that is the end of my shooting phase. And my hazardous roll for my Riptide. A 5, so he's good. I do get secure no man's land, but I'm going to throw away assassination. So I will go up to 2 CP, and we're going to move on to the Necrons turn 1. The Necron turn 1 command phase. I'm up to 3 CP. NecronMike's up to 1 CP. And we have the heavy destroyers. One came back with 2 wounds, and the warriors were back to full. And that is the Necron turn 1 command phase.
All right, so for our movement, we just shuffled everything over here, made sure we're still within 3 inches of the hex mark, where we do have the assassination getting long shooty character guy. Now we shuffled up the immortals there just so they can pop back out, but I want to still make sure they have cover. Scarabini's moved up a little bit. I have another plan for them here at some point. Warriors just shuffled up a little bit just so they can get targets on stuff, but I wanted to make sure that they were still on the objective there. These guys, I shuffled them over. They're going to be taking some shots into the building over here. Apparently I wasn't aiming that, but anyways. Scarabs over there are just doing some screening. And now for the awkwardness here, those guys actually did a really good job of messing with my day, because I can't really just run up on there now and take that middle objective. So what I gotta do is with my Lich Guard, they just did a regular move, so I gotta hope for a cheeky giant charge so I can get over there and potentially pop onto that. So yeah, we'll see how that plays out.
So the Doomsday Arc is going to shoot at the Riptide.
6 attacks. They all hit.
All right, 3s to wound. All wound me.
AP minus 4.
They have a 4-up invuln. So, a 4-up, it's like a 6 hit me.
Yep.
So I got 4-up invuln, see what happens. Boop. I save everyone except for 1.
Oh.
How much damage?
4.
So my Riptide takes 4 damage, so he's down to 8. So the Doomstalker is now going to shoot at my Tetris.
All right, D6 plus 1 attacks. Nice.
Ooh, big 6.
4, 5, 6, 7. And he's looking for 3s. Ooh. 2. Terrible.
Ooh. 2s to wound.
Look for 2s. Got him.
So I'm getting cover, so my Tetris get 4-up save. I'm getting cover. But it's AP 3, so I need 6s. None. Yeah, they have 7 wounds each. Yeah, so my Tetra loses 6 wounds, so it's at 1 wound. Lich Guard, they're going to charge into there. They need, was it a 9?
Yes.
A 9, but I'm going to... He can get in here easier. Like, he only needs a 3 to get in here, but he wants a big 9 so he can kind of tag on those objectives as well. But I use for 1 CP, Photon Grenade, I believe, so it's minus 2 to his charge, and that was 1 CP.
That's a 3.
That's a Scarab. They're going to charge in. They probably can't fail.
Whatever.
They got 6. Oh, so they're automatically in. A 6 plus whatever you got there. The Lich Guard picked up those Pathfinders pretty easy. Scarabs consolidated onto this objective. Stormhawk's objective, you can't get first turn. So that'll be going back into his deck. And he did draw Capturing Outpost instead. So that didn't really change anything, luckily. And the Necrons are just going to discard Capturing Outpost. But they did score 5 points for assassination. So the points right now are 5-2 for the Necrons. Going into Tau turn 2. The Tau turn 2 draw, I get engage in all fronts. It's not a bad one. And storm hostile objective. He's not really on any objectives. He's on that one that he created back there with his Immortals. That's what he did turn 1. I don't know if we mentioned that, but turn 1 his Immortals, he made an objective as well. So there's not too many I can storm. So we'll see how that goes. On to my command phase, which is just going to be getting ACP. There's not really much I'm going to really do in my command phase. So we're going to go on to my movement. So my movement, pretty aggressive. I did drop these Crisis Battle Suits. I'm going to try to get some shots on these Lich Guard. We'll see what happens. I think they are -1 to hit. My Kalyan does kick in this phase because I have the Exemplar of the Kalyan enhancement on that commander. Ghost Keel just kind of shimmied out to shoot down the lane of death, as me and Mike are calling it. I moved the railgun over because the other one got blown up. The Ion Accelerator. Riptide is ready. My other Riptide, it moved up here. Just get some cover. My Devilfish moved up here just to shoot some Seeker missiles into that Resurrection Healy thing. Hopefully kill that. Alright, so we're going to move on to my shooting phase. The Crisis Suits are shooting into the Lich Guard. So I'm doing 3 of them are overcharging. So 3 of them with 3 Cyclic Blasters are overcharging. 3 of them are not, but 2 of them only have 2 Cyclic Ion Blasters because they have air fragmentation, which I shot into the Immortals and did nothing. These are just the first 18. So I need 4s because he is -1 to hit with his enhancement. So I need 4s. 6s are sustained 2s because I'm being spot by the Tetras, and I can reroll my hits. Alright, we'll come back to that. So I just picked this back up, everything, and I'm going to fish for more 6s. So I do need 4s. I only got 1 more 6. Turn 2 overcharge for my Hazardous. So my Riptide, he's good, and my Ghost Keel. He is good as well. Well, I get 3 mortal wounds on one of my Crisis Suits. So that's not a bad trade. I could have lost a lot more than that. The Crisis Suits were able to pick up the Lich Guard, but we didn't kill the Overlord. Only 2 wounds to the Overlord. These units over here, we were able to finally kill the Heavy Destroyers. I did get a wound with the Railgun onto the Doomstalker, but it saved, so it's got a 4-up invuln. He did have to use a CP to get us to reroll, but he did reroll into a save, so he didn't take the D6 plus 6 big damage. So everything else just kind of bounced. I did try to shoot I did do a few wounds to his Reanimator, but other than that, nothing else happened. So I did do a little shoot and scoop behind this wall with my Crisis Suits, but other than that, that's it. So on to turn 2 for the Necrons. I discarded both of these cards, and so I'm not going to get those. Turn 2 draw for Necrons. Overwhelming Force, kill someone on objectives, and Aerial Denial. So get on, stop someone from 3 or 6 inches by the center. Might be able to get 3 if you kill my Tetras. Alright, so yeah, that's not bad. On to the movement phase.
For our movement, didn't go too far with most things. So we moved the warriors up. I just wanted to kind of get a foot on that one and just be a little closer so we can get some shots off on the Tetras there. Overwhelming and area denial. It is pretty important that they die. Unfortunately, I still didn't really have anything that could get up far enough for that unless we do another charge. So,
Right, so Mike moved his Immortals up there to get some shots onto my Crisis Passage, so I decided to use my Overwatch to see if I could punk off some of them. I was maybe saving it for the Warriors, but I think the Immortals are more important right now. And that Overwatch did manage to kill 8 of the Immortals, so that unit is quite neutered. I shouldn't have to worry about them killing too many of my crisis suits now. So that was a good spend of CP. On to more movement from the Necrons.
Over here, the Immortals, they did their move up and got shot in the face. So, yeah, we will go from there.
Warrior shot at my Tetras, kind of bounced a little bit. They were able to kill one and bring one down to 4 wounds. And then now we're going to have the Immortals over here shooting into my crisis suits. I did pop a CP for stim injector, so I have a 6 up, feel no pain. Blastmaster 3 is going to be good at critting on 5s, and any 5s and 6s will give him sustain 2. So we'll do the hit rolls, and we'll come back with the saves and see what happens. We got 2. 2, and a lot of... Well, still, that's good, not bad.
So 6 total. Didn't want to do it, but I'm doing it.
Okay, so we got the Doomstalker into the Tetras.
He's getting 5 attacks.
All right. Mike did a split fire, hoping to kill the Tetras. Crisis suit as well. He did manage to kill the Crisis suit, but even with the reroll, he got double 1s on the shot against the Tetras. So now he is going to have to use his Doomstalker to try to get rid of that Tetra, because he wants aerial denial, and it'll stop me from scoring points in my turn.
And overwhelming.
And overwhelming force. So it's a very good one for him to get. He needs to kill this thing. So now he got 5 shots with your Doomstalker. Is it +1?
Yep, 5 shots.
All right, 5 shots with the Doomstalker. He's hitting on 3s?
Yes, 3s.
Oh, no.
Bunch of them.
The strength in this bad boy.
14.
2s to wound me.
Yes.
AP?
So 4 and AP 3.
6s. He's dead. He saved 1, he's dead. Okay. The Overlord did make his charge, but sadly he bounced off the stealth suits. I didn't do anything back to him. So that is the end of the Necron phase. He scored both his cards. He got 3 points for overwhelming force and 3 points for aerial denial. So he is up to 21, and I am at 12 at the end of the Necron turn 2. So we're going to turn 3. Turn 3 Tau. Okay, so for the Tau turn 3 draw, I need something good. Extend battle lines. You just have to have 1 objective and 1 in your home deployment. And aerial denial. Another good one, especially if I can clear out those scarabs in the middle here. So I have this and this for extend. I think extend is just you have 1 in your deployment. So on to my movement phase. Command phase, I go up to 2 CP. Mike went up to, I think you're back up to 3.
2.
Bad. Mike's at 2. And we're going on to my movement phase. My movement, I pushed up pretty hard now. It's turn 3, so I get my Callion. I brought my Devilfish shot, dropped out my Breachers. They won't be able to charge, be able to shoot with them. I brought the Stealth Suits around to hopefully get some spotting. Crisis Suits moved out here. I do have enough 2 CP, so I'll probably do my shoot and scoop. Ghost Kill moved out. I'm going to see if I can get some shots onto those heavy destroyers. Mike also did drop Scorpic Destroyers here at back lines here. He wants to try, hopefully in his turn, if he doesn't get shot up, to charge into my Shadow Sun and my backline artillery here. So that is my movement phase. Alright, so it was kind of a hit and miss turn. Not too bad. I was able to take out those warriors with my Crisis Suits, but I did lose 2 from Hazardous. I did take out the Immortals with my Breachers. There wasn't much I could do about these heavy destroyers, these Scorpic Destroyers here. I did use shoot and scoot, so I kind of scooted that Riptide. He's probably going to die, but just to try to block him in there. And then that was pretty much it. So I cleared out, I whiffed on his big heavy units once again. We're going to go on to the Necron turn 3. On turn 3 draw. Deploy Teleport Homer. Okay. Deployed Teleport Homer and investigate signals. Alrighty, investigate signals is not bad. Your hex mark might be able to do it. Reanimation.
He's up to 4. He's full. He's full. And this guy, he gets 2 back, so 6, 7, 8. So he's back up to 11.
Well, so on to the movement phase for the Necrons. For the movement, pretty quick, pretty easy. Might move back the Hexmark Destroyer for investigate signals. Scarab's back in this corner for investigate signals. All the heavy states, so he can get his heavy. Over here, since I did block him out, he did decide to go around and into this objective too with a charge. I don't think I'm going to bother overwatching with anything. There's no... We got the Scorpex there, and then he's going to charge onto my objectives, I'm guessing. So we're going on to the shooting phase. Quick little recap of the shooting phase here. The Doomstalker and the Doomsday Ark were able to take out my Hammerhead. I did take a few wounds, 3 wounds off of my Riptide. Then one of the Heavy Destroyers was able to kill one of my Crisis Suits. And now we're going to go on to the charges. I don't know if you probably can't fail those charges, so we're going to go on to the charge and combat phase, and we'll see how she goes. Alright, so the charge phase, there was only 1 charge. He made it with a 5. He was only 3 away. And he chopped up my Riptide pretty easy, but the 2 guys that were only going to the stealth suits, they whipped hard. They only able to kill 1. He got a lot of 1s on his hits and a lot of 1s on his wounds. So I only lost 1 stealth suit. So we're going to go on to the turn 3 for the Tau. Draw for their turn 4. We have Defend Stronghold. Should be easy enough, as long as those choppers don't get me. And behind enemy lines. We'll see about that one. Don't know. I might spend a CP. I'm going to spend a CP. I don't really need any CP right now to discard behind enemy lines and redraw, bring it down. That's a much better one. So that's bring it down and defend stronghold. So on to my movement phase. Command phase, I go up to CP and Mike went up to CP. For my movement, I move pretty much everything here to try. I need to take out these Scorpec Destroyers, because if I don't take them out, they'll start chopping apart my lines. So I mostly put everything into trying to take those out. I did move my Breachers up here with an advance, so I won't be able to charge with them, but they have assault so I can shoot, so I can try to take out these people on these objectives. I moved my Devilfish onto the objective as well. I advanced these Breachers onto the objective and to get some shots on these Scorpex. And I just kind of tippied this Riptide. You can see his little gun poke around the corner there so he can shoot, so he can see. And we're going to go on to the shooting phase. So I shot my Crisis Suits into the Scorpex. He did lose all of them except for his commander, his Scorpec Daddy. We got 10 Hazardous. 1 will destroy stuff. What do we got here? We got 1-1. That's better than last time. So I do lose 3 wounds off a Crisis Suit. 3 wounds off that Crisis Suit. Shooting phase, I was able to kill the Destroyers, bring the Scorpec Daddy down to 1 wound. I did take out the Technomancer and brought the Overlord down to 1 wound. Charged him with the Devilfish, but I didn't have enough to give a tank shot to him. Necron turn 4. I actually moved these guys out of my deployment since the points were only getting from the primary for the main objective, so I will actually get Defense Stronghold. So I'm actually going to toss that one. No, I'm going to hold on to it, so I'll be able to get it next turn if I just move someone onto the objective. So I will hold on to Defense Stronghold. Turn 4 movement for the Necrons. He advanced the Reanimator up here to try to get some OC on this. Fell back the Overlord. He did fail his Battle Shock, but he did pass his Desperate Breakout. Advanced the Scarabs. Scorpec Daddy passed his Battle Shock, so he's good to go. The Storage kind of moved over to get some shots onto I'm guessing my Crisis Battle Suits. So we're going to go on to Necron shooting. All right, so for the shooting phase, he did try to put everything into the Devilfish to take it out. Sadly, he lived on with 1 wound. And then he shot at a Crisis Suit and missed the Crisis Suits. I think that's pretty much. He made a charge onto my Breachers.
Yeah,
so
okay.
you get extend battle lines, and you could get Defend Stronghold if I don't come take it.
Waiting to see.
Yeah. All right, so let's see. I'll tell you. I'll let you know what the points are here, and then we're going to go into turn 5 for the Tau. The score is 33 to 32 for the Necrons. So let's see what turn 5 draw for Tower. We have Overwhelming Force, so kill stuff on objectives. That's really, really good. And Cleanse. Those are some pretty good secondaries. So in my turn 5, just a little recap, I did pretty much just shoot and get rid of all these units here in the middle. I was able to get pretty lucky with my shooting. Cleanse and No Man's Land. And for his turn 5, there's not much he can do. He can do some shooting, but he's not going to get any points. So we're going to do the points. It's a very close game. Until turn 5, I came back pretty hard in turn 5, but it's still going to be pretty close. So we're going to tally up the score here. All right, and the final score would be 55 to 33 with paint for the Tau. Very close game. It was a lot of fun. And thanks to NecronMike for coming again. And I hope he comes back to play because it's a great time every time he comes. Thanks for watching, and thanks for stopping by.